the first Season 6 Grumpy Lion Roars About the Good Wife, the spoiler edition. I'll be coming to you every Monday morning to talk about Sunday's episode. We have only a week to go before the Season 6 premiere, and here's what we know so far. Alicia has just been asked by Eli whether or not she wants to run for state's attorney. In typical Alicia fashion, she laughs at him and tries to change the subject, but she's secretly intrigued by the idea. As Robert King has said, Alicia likes power, but she's also a little embarrassed about liking power. More to the point, Alicia is an extremely private person who has never shown the slightest interest in politics. I'll be watching to see how the Kings manage to get her from the Alicia we all know into an Alicia who voluntarily puts herself out there for public scrutiny. My guess is that there'll be some sort of shocking jolt to make that happen. Alicia never makes any big decision without a shocking jolt. And that brings us to Peter, whom we last left eyeing one of his blonde, shapely interns. Peter has tried as much as he's capable of trying. And he's not all that capable, but that's another story for another day, to make his marriage with Alicia work. But after Will died, Alicia had enough of one of those trademark jolts of hers to realize that she didn't want to try with Peter on a personal level any longer. But she also doesn't seem to want the cleanness of a divorce, so they're currently trapped in a political marriage of convenience. I don't think either one of them will be happy in that for long, but we'll see what ends up happening. I think there's a pretty good chance that Peter finally will decide to sleep with the intern. And the shock of that is what makes Alicia finally decide to run for SA. Sure, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but then neither does Alicia these days. Diane has just approached Alicia and Carrie and asked to come join Floric Agos. We all know that Alicia likes the idea and that Carrie doesn't. There's going to be tension between Alicia and Carrie over this, but ultimately I have no doubt that Diane's coming to Floric Agos, leaving Lockhart Gardner to Canning as a recurring guest star and poor David Lee, whom I'll miss not seeing more regularly. The team of Alicia and Diane is going to be a formidable one, but it's also going to work against Carrie. So let's talk about him now. Carrie is going to start out the season in a bad place. He's losing power at work, and he's also just found out that Kalinda has been using him for information to benefit Lockhart Gardner. Although, of course, we all know that there's a lot more to it than that. He's going to be hurt and frustrated and looking for a way to better his position professionally and personally. I wouldn't be surprised at anything that Carrie might do in the first 5 episodes. He might jump ship to go back to Lockhart Gardner, although structurally having 2 law firms again might be a bit of a problem. And what happens between him and Kalinda, of course, is anyone's guess. So let's talk about Kalinda. We know that both Lana and Sophia are coming back this season, which is better news than pushing Kalinda into relationships with random newcomers about whom we could care less. But as BuzzFeed has pointed out, it's been 30 episodes since Kalinda has had a scene with Alicia, and until that problem gets fixed, I don't see a meaningful storyline in Kalinda's future. It's not just that Alicia is the lead, and every other character needs to connect to her. It's that Kalinda's whole state of being is about Alicia, and Alicia was always a more interesting person when she was with Kalinda. Without that relationship, no matter how good the show is, it's not as good as it could be. I'm assuming that Kalinda is going with Diane to Floric Agos, so that it's therefore going to be harder and harder to keep her and Alicia from crossing paths. But it's all going to depend on whether or not Julianne Margulies has gotten over whatever irks her about Archie Panjabi. If she hasn't, at least counting the ways that the Kings used to keep the two apart will provide fodder for an interesting Season 6 drinking game. All in all, I give the potential for this season 3 roars on a 5-roar scale. Tune in next Monday and we'll see how we're starting out. And if you have any questions, write to me at thegrouchylion@gmail.com. Peace out.